So in this particular video, I'm going to explain about special cases of solids. That is, you're having three special cases in this particular projection of solids. One is your cube. Cube is also known as hexahedron. Okay, it can also be called as hexahedron. Okay, so today we are going to just know about what is a cube and how this particular problem based on cube is given. So cube can be having six. A cube is having six sides. Okay, six sides of equal length it is having. So you can say that it is a prism itself. Only thing is the axis height is also equal to the side length. Okay, so there are two problems which are there in your entire syllabus. That is problem number 43 and problem number 47. So problem number 47 I'm going to explain to you guys because it is a little bit complicated. Problem number 43 you can do it on your own. Problem number 43 is having it is just like a prism where it is resting on one of its edges and the edge is inclined there. But problem number 47 is a little bit complicated because it has been asked many times in the examination, and the term solid diagonal is given in the question. You can just check that problem number 47. Okay, so he says initially he says that hexahedron of 30 sides. So if he says hexahedron of 30 sides, in the top view he say it is resting on one of its corners on HP. So generally, since it is 30 sides, so draw a square of 30 sides. Since it is says that it is resting on a corner, draw it in a corner condition. Okay, then project it from each of the ends. This is similar to what we will be doing in prisms. Okay, next, so after you draw this, just draw this diagonal as well because it will help you for drawing the projection lines, or else you can draw it later on. Okay, so the axis height is also 30 here. So what you can do is just again go for a rectangle, select this end, select this end, then here you give the height as 30. Okay, make sure that you are entering the value in this particular column 30, press enter. So there is a rectangle which is placed here right now. So change it to 0.5 thick, and since you are seeing this in the front view, this particular edge will be visible, so you have to draw this line here, so which will also be equal to 0.5 thick. Okay, so that is how your first two particular positions will be. Show the dimensions. Okay, then naming is as usual. You can do it a1, a of a1, b of b1, c of c1, d of d1, like that you can do it. Okay, it is given differently in your primer, but you can do it a of a1, b of b1, c of c1, d of d1, like that. Okay, so there, after this particular condition, he says such that one of its solid diagonals is perpendicular to VP. Okay, solid diagonals perpendicular to VP in the sense that is your final particular answer. Okay, so if your solid diagonal, if he's saying, we know that a prism, we know that generally in a prism, whenever he says axis is inclined, there we are talking about beta. But here in this case, he says that solid diagonal is inclined. So solid diagonal, when he says, if I were to tell you that the top, this particular point from the top to the bottom here, okay, that is the solid diagonal. So I'll consider this as the solid diagonal. So from this topmost portion, from this corner to the bottommost point of the other corner, so that is your solid diagonal entirely. So he says that is perpendicular to VP. That is in the final position, in the fifth position, he says. So before that, what you'll do is, he's just said that. Okay, so I'll just remove this. I'll place it like exactly like this. I'll make a copy of this one. Okay, I'll make a copy of it and I'll place it exactly here. Okay, now in this particular case, you cannot rotate this one. Since I've drawn this diagonal like this, okay, I've drawn the diagonal like this, so I can make sure, since he has given in the question that you have to have this solid diagonal perpendicular in the fifth position. So what I'll do is, I'll select this, okay, in such a way that, or else what I'll do is, I'll just select the rotate option I'll rotate this particular line. I'll rotate it like this. Just a second, I'll just redo this. Select the whole thing, go for move copy. Okay, I'm placing it anywhere somewhere on the VP line. So select this diagonal. Okay, select this diagonal. I'm making sure that this diagonal is straight. Okay, this diagonal, when it is straight, I'm leaving it. Then after this, I'm going to move it. Just move it. No need of copy. Select the end, and I'm placing it like this. Okay, so that is how it is. You have to rotate it. Why you have to do this is, this solid diagonal is now, it is parallel to VP here. When you are taking this parallel to VP, later in this fifth position you will get this perpendicular. Okay, now this particular thing is related to the bottommost face. Okay, two faces are there, that is the bottom face and top face. So first one is the bottom face. So I'll just, you know that the points will always same on the same lines, so you can just project these lines. Also, there is no need for you to show axis line here because this edge is visible here. So join all the 4 points here. Okay, and since this is the bottommost face, this will not be visible in the top view. So all these lines, out of which these two lines will be dash lines, the other two lines will be continuous lines. Select the lines, change them to 0.5 mm. Okay, again project the topmost face. You have to show this projection lines. Okay, you are going to have one more line here. Exactly on this line you are going to have it. So be very sure that you are projecting it in a very right manner. So when you are projecting it, make sure angle is 90. Okay, then you are having another point here. And this particular point, this line here, will also be extended. Because you are having these 2 points, just zoom in to just check whether these 2 lines are nearer or on the same line. So both the lines are on the same line. So just extend this. Okay, one point is here. So you have to again go for joining the lines. So the top face will always be visible. So the full square face is visible here. So select all the 4 lines. Okay, change them to 0.5 mm thick. Now about the edges. Now the top face is visible. From here to here, this is visible. Okay, this point to this point is visible. So just select this point to this point. Continuous edge. Okay. Similarly, this point is also visible. So just draw a line here. Okay, make sure that you just change them to 0.5 mm thick. Okay. Similarly again here. Okay. And this particular edge will not be visible. So this will be your dashed line. This one. Okay. So this particular dashed line is not given reflected in your primer. You just make sure this. Okay. After this, you can go for the final position, that is fifth position. Here in this case, if you just observe, I told you that this particular solid, let us say this is A. Okay, so A and your C1, A and C1 is your, let us say if this is A of A1, B of B1, C of C1, D of D1. So topmost point will be A, the bottommost point will be C1. So A and C1 is your solid diagonal. So in this case, the A becomes this particular point here. Okay, this is your A and this particular becomes your C1. Okay, so this is your solid diagonal here. Okay, So let me just draw one line here, or not needed if you remember this. Okay, just to show this projection line you have to, because you are drawn projection lines, you just draw one more line here. Okay, select the whole thing. He says it is perpendicular to VP, so go for move copy. Okay, place it somewhere here. Now he says it is perpendicular, so select this solid diagonal of yours and make sure it is straight. Okay, so this is what is your question says. Then later you can just project this. I know this particular end is your bottommost part, so just project this. Okay, so bottommost part you are having this particular point, so that is your corner on which it is resting. So this particular only one line is there here. Then you are having another projection line from here. Okay, so just draw the projection line because you have to show this two particular ends. Okay, and be very sure about projection lines. It should be very straight. If you're not getting this, just change this to 90. Okay, again this particular end you are getting here, so you're getting all the 4 points. Join all the 4 points here. Okay, leave it as it is. Later we'll decide whether it is continuous line or dashed line. Okay, next the top face you have to just again project. So project this. I know these two lines will be here somewhere, so I'll just project this. I know this is somewhere on the lines, but since it is a corner, both the corners will lie on the same line. If I just project this also, it's fine. So there are two particular lines. Again, see, there's no need of projection. This particular line only, if you just extend, you will get the other one. Okay, so similarly, this particular thing, if you extend, you will get the other one. Just trim this extra part, go for line command, join all the 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, show this line also here. It is just a projection line. Now, since this in this case, if you're seeing this, imagine if you're seeing this from this side. If you're seeing this from this side, space is visible, so these sides will be visible completely. Okay, and this face also will be visible. Okay, these edges will be visible, whereas these two edges will not be visible. This will be dashed lines. Okay, rest all the lines will be visible. And here I have to just redraw this because you are having one more edge here. From here to here you are having edge. Okay, you have to show this. Okay, that is your problem. Okay, you can go through this on your primer, how to sketch this particular condition. Okay, this particular condition, how you are going to sketch it is, you have to draw one line here. What you have to draw is this particular line. After you draw this and this, first position and second position, if you draw till here, it is easy. Third position, when you are going to sketch it, you have to draw one line here like this. Okay, draw it from this corner to this point here. Okay, measure this line first. Measure you this measurement of this line you measure, then draw it straight vertical anywhere on this PP from starting from XY. From there, using arc method, you have to reconstruct this whole thing. Okay, you have to reconstruct this whole thing. You have to measure this particular solid diagonal also. Even if you don't measure by arc method, at least you will get it. So you will get 2 points as reference. Initially, when you measure this particular length of this line here you have to take from XY to here you will draw this. So 2 points as a reference you got. Very easily you can find out this third point just by measuring this arcs here by using arc method. So this point you will get. So simultaneously this line you will be measuring. You can cut an arc, and with this as reference you can get other points. So you have to reconstruct this one. So I hope this particular step, you have to draw this line here in this solid itself. In this solid you have to draw this from this point to this point. That particular line you have to just draw this first here. then only you can go for sketching. Rest of the part, I think it is easy for you. This particular part you can sketch it here. How you are going to sketch? You can take the reference of this from this end to this end as diagonal. So 2 reference points you are getting. So again you can reconstruct the whole thing. Okay, I hope this is clear. You can go through this video again and again. Okay, problem number 43 is very simple. It is similar to prisms. You can 43 is very simple. You can go to primer and you can just check that.